Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2026 post test predictions. I am Ajax, and I'm joined by Sorgun for our official 2026 predictions. I'm very excited. How are you feeling, Sorgun? Right here, right now. It is time to go, and F1's back. F1's back, baby.
Yes, let's go. Super pumped and super excited. I cannot wait for the season to start. It's in 2 weeks from now on at the date of the recording. So yeah, almost around the corner. 2 weeks, can't wait. And we're gonna do the last, pre-season video, I think we can call it, for the actual predictions for the 2026 season, because we've done some before testing. Now it's after testing, so we have a little tiny bit more idea on how it's looking among the
Yeah,
teams
a
and the
lot
pecking
bigger
order.
idea.
Yeah, I still wouldn't call it like specifically very informative because it's still testing, and we've seen the testing is not really correlate to the reality, right? Some teams sad back, some teams don't show their true potential, and some teams can bring completely different cars to Australia. So it's all going to be changing very, very rapidly, and yeah, this is more of like a predictions on how it's going to start the season and how it's going to develop in the race. It's going to be huge this year as well. Yeah, it's going to be very exciting. Who's going to start?
Well, I'm happy to start because I've got some big predictions straightforward.
Okay,
So
go for it.
I'm happy to do that. My first prediction. It should not shock anyone after testing that this is a prediction I have. Is of course the Aston Martin being the last place car on the grid. It looks horrendously slow. It looks difficult to drive. It looks almost impossible to deal with. So, of course, I have to go with the Aston Martin as my first pick because, yeah, that is not looking like it's fun at all to drive. But the biggest shock to everyone will be the fact that I am going to put not Aston Martin, not Lance Stroll, but Fernando Alonso in last place,
Ooh, wow.
which is a big shock, I know, to Sorgan, who is a huge Fernando Alonso fan.
I don't
But
know
let me explain.
that. Okay,
I
go.
think that I think he's gone. I don't think I struggle to even think that he wants to stay around for the start of the year. I think that he is out of there. He's not going to want to be in that rubbish car for much longer. So for me, I have to say that yeah, I think they're going to have to find someone else to drive that car, and yeah, I think he'll be gone, cheese gone. But after that, I am going to put Lance Stroll. I really do think this Aston is terrible. And I don't think they have the power to save it. Let me not make this error. So yeah, I think he, whilst he is a much worse driver than Alonso, I think he will stick around for a little bit. But I also think that maybe, given everything that's happening in the world, he won't have that drive for much longer either.
Yeah, not looking good for Aston, is it? Uh,
No, not at all.
I still don't know if they're gonna be the worst team because it's gonna be a long season, 24 races. Development is gonna be huge. They still have all those facilities. They have such an advantage over the entire midfield in facilities alone, right? And even if their engine is not looking great, well, great, not looking great is probably underestimating just how bad it is. But I still believe they can turn it around a little bit. Not that they will like get points or something, but I don't feel like it'd be that bad. I still would still with Cadillac for P11. It is a completely new team that's gonna be having a lot of struggle this season. They haven't impressed me in testing either. They have a very interesting looking car, but that's about it. They have two very experienced drivers, probably the biggest advantage they have for the start of a season because they have two drivers who been there, done that with top teams. They know how a team operates, and both of them as well have a lot of experience in midfield teams. And they're such a good addition to this team. Like if they would have chosen like two rookies, they would be probably like pretty dead last. And yeah, I feel like it could be interesting going forward, but I don't have much hopes for them. As for the drivers, I'm gonna give Lance Stroll P22. Yeah, Aston is not looking great, and I don't have much hopes for them either. So yeah, but this is another spoiler as well. I'm gonna give Valtteri Bottas at P21 in the driver standings. Yeah, I'm choosing Checo over Valtteri in this case. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see their dynamic, especially how they fare against each other. Both of them, well, haven't been on the grid, right? Previous year, so yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Cadillac is my next team, which should not shock you either. I just think they had so much more practice than Aston Martin have. They were at the preseason test, or pre-testing tests, whatever it was called, the showdown or that rubbish. They've been around for so long that I think that team is far more likely to be able to do something right. So yeah, that's my reasoning behind their pick. I'm excited to see how the Aston performs overall. Sorry, how the Cadillacs perform overall if they can manage to get to speed. But yeah, they had so much more testing. But it is going to be Perez for me that is the bottom Cadillac car, followed by Bottas. He's literally beat him in every single session they've done. So. Yeah, that's my reasoning.
Yeah, I mean, testing times. I don't know how much representative they are. Like every year, especially outside of new regulations. I will not have like any idea until Q3, pretty much.
Yeah, that's
in Australia, and even then, it can change completely for the next race after that, because like we've seen even last year, like 2025 Australia, Haas was absolutely the worst car out there, and in China they got a P5 with Ocon. So it's, yeah, it can change a lot from race to race, especially with the start of our new regulations. But I don't believe in those two teams like you do. Sorry, I don't believe in them like you. If that makes sense. Like, I agree with you.
Yeah,
For those two teams to be at the back, I'm gonna have Perez over Bottas in this case, and I'm gonna have Fernando Alonso scoring a miracle P12 or something, getting into P19 the standings.
That wouldn't be a miracle.
Yeah, so
That car looks undrivable.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
It's not. It's going to break down every weekend. It can't even do a race distance.
It seems like it's gonna be very troubling, but a random like wet race with Alonso randomly getting around right there in the like P13 area probably would be the tiebreaker here. I feel like those two teams will be pretty safe at the back of the grid. I don't feel like they compete with much other teams, right? So yeah, but I still feel like Fernando is the best driver of those four, and I believe in Aston Martin's capability of turning around the season more than Cadillac's ability to sustain their advantage over Aston that they might have right now.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I think that is fair of you, and yeah, I somewhat agree. But yes, okay. On to the next team. I'll be honest, I'm struggling with the next team because it looks like Williams is the next slowest potentially. It looks like they could be the next team that's quite slow. The Audi might be quick, but might not be. It's difficult to tell. I am going to end up going with the Racing Bulls though. I just think that they tend to struggle in the first seasons of regulations. There's a lot more emphasis put on the Red Bulls at that time. So yeah, I'm going to go with the Racing Bulls. They also have two pretty decent drivers, but interesting ones. Um, but for oh gosh, I don't know who to put up next because I know the Alpine's quite quick, right? I'm gonna put Lawson up next, followed by Bortoletto.
Ooh, wow. So a big Lindblad believer.
Oh, yeah, British bias. I'm doubling down.
It's so overwhelming, right?
Yeah, I'm doubling down this year. I just think that I've looked a lot more into Lindblad as a driver these last few weeks, and he like he evidently is quite quick, and a lot of people have a lot of belief into him going into this season. So you know what, I'll have that belief as well. Why not? If I'm going to double down on the British bias, I might as well double down on it. So yeah, I think he'll do pretty solidly, but I'll be honest, not too solidly.
I'm also thinking about the coloring for this season, and since we have like Cadillac black and white, the Haas is more white than Cadillac. I feel like Haas deserves white, and
Yes, I agree.
I feel like we can remain with Cadillac with the gold, yellow, whatever.
That should be the Cadillac's colours.
Right.
I really,
Yeah.
again, I think it's a superb looking car, but I am peed off that their colours aren't right.
So we can stick with those colors for the season. I feel like
Yeah.
unless they change it later, which is unlikely. Okay, my P9 the constructors is Racing Bulls as well. I don't have much hope in them for this season. They'll obviously be carried for the future season by Red Bull's technical knowledge. Basically, what happens is that Racing Bulls gets parts from the previous year's Red Bull, and this year, since everything is new, they don't have anything to take over from them. So, yeah, it's gonna be all on them, and I don't really believe in that team to do much this season. Maybe they will have some good races. Maybe they will start the season stronger, but in terms of development, I don't believe in them much. Yeah, Racing Bulls in P9, I have Arvid Lindblad in last of the
Yes, that's fair
midfield,
enough.
pretty much in this case, because I feel like those Aston Martin are kind of like the back markers. I feel like there's going to be a gap between P9 and P10, 11, right? Like from what we've seen in the testing so far.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I really think a big gap.
yeah, next up P17. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna pick Alex Albon. I don't know
Ah,
what's gonna be a Williams this season. We both have been very optimistic about Williams for this season, pre-testing, but they didn't even showed up for the shakedown or whatever it was in Barcelona, and they haven't done much in Bahrain either. It's
yeah.
not looking great for them.
They've done a lot of laps, but it's not looking good.
Yeah, like they have Mercedes engine, which is probably going to be the saving grace of the season, but you don't even know if the Mercedes engine is going to be the same in Australia, right? Because of all
Yeah,
the
definitely.
speculation and the rumors, and
Well, apparently, I think it's agreed upon that they're allowed it till August 1st.
yeah, and then there's still like you don't know what's going to happen to the
Yeah,
engine,
true.
how it's going to be translated into the rest of the season. So it's all just question marks on Williams right now. They have a very good front lineup though. It's going to be very important for them if they want to score any points potentially in that midfield. And yeah, P17 for Alex feels very very low, but I'm just I'm not having a good feeling about Williams. That is just not acceptable for them to like completely not show up for the first testing. It's not what should be acceptable for a team that should be on the rise, right? Like had such an impressive season last year with 2 podiums, and now they look like they've kind of fell back down the order again. Disappointing.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Okay, up to me next. I'm gonna go with Audi up next. Again, they've shown reasonable pace. They didn't look good in the pre-showdown, or whatever it's called. You know, that headache. But ever since they've looked pretty solid and exciting. So I'm gonna give them their time to shine there, and put them on a pedestal for the rest of the season. Uh, then I'm going Lindblad as my next driver. Sorry, what was I just saying? Did I say I put them on a pedestal for the? I think the Audi's like, it's an interesting one. It's basically new to the grid, but they don't look too bad, and they actually like show they did a lot of laps in this last test, which is good for them. And I'm glad to see it. But yeah, Lindblad is my next driver. I don't think he'll be too much quicker than the other two, but as I say, I've seen some exciting things out of him. So I'm going to get my hopes up a little bit, and then it might shock you. I'm going to go for Colapinto up next. Again, I think he's shown to be reasonably quick, but I'm not sure how quick he truly is. So it'll be interesting to see from that perspective.
Yeah, I'm not against it because that means Hulkenberg is higher in your predictions. I like that.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Okay. Okay. When it comes to next few picks, it's gonna be very difficult. I feel like there's like a bunch of teams in this midfield group, and then it's like the bunch of top teams. Okay, I'm gonna straight up say that I feel like Haas is like the fifth strongest team right now. They have a good looking car as well, so not gonna go for them. But the rest of the bunch is just so difficult to choose. When it comes to constructors, I'm gonna go for Audi next, P8. It's gonna be difficult for them with a brand new engine, and the transition to a works team. It'll be difficult for them to like compete with the other top teams. I feel like they will be in the midfield, having some good performances here and there, but it's gonna be a difficult season for them, right? To basically get into the working rhythm. They obviously have a very experienced driver in Hulkenberg, very talented, young, promising driver in Bortoleto. That could be a force to be reckoned with, but it's gonna be difficult for them to really put some consistent effort into it. So I feel like that would be like a tale of like a good couple of races and pretty mid in the rest. So P8 for them, and I'm gonna go with Nico Hulkenberg for P16 in the driver standings, with Liam Lawson in P15 in there. So yeah, look, I shouldn't be biased towards Hulkenberg, but I feel like Bortoleto will really put out this season as really. I feel like Bortoleto is like gonna be like my next thing after Hulkenberg retires. I feel like I will be like a Bortoleto fan, and I'm gonna start like putting him out there as my new favorite, right? I'm gonna believe in him, and I feel like he's shown so much speed and so much talent last year that I think it shouldn't be questioned that he can beat Hulkenberg over a season. Because
That's fair enough. I don't know if the consistency is there. Maybe
he's
yet,
not going to be a
but
rookie anymore, right? Like,
yeah, that is true. That is true. And I think he's a superb driver. My ranking isn't really an indictment on him. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. I think he as one of the drivers that came up. I think him and Hadjar were probably two of the better ones, and not Ocon, Behrman. So yeah, there's a reason he won F2, right? Right, going into my next pick, it is your man Hulkenberg up next for me. Again, this midfield is pretty messy. Oh, wait, actually, I meant to do the team first, but I'll do the team next. Yeah, I think this midfield's really messy. I think there's going to be a few like points won here and there. I don't think there's going to be consistent points because I think the top teams are going to be really like strong this year, and then it will just be a battle between the rest for other points. So yeah, that's my reasoning behind it. And then beyond them, I'm going to go for Gasly. I know that the Alpine looks really quick in this preseason testing, but let me remind everyone they looked really quick last season in preseason testing, and they weren't. So I'm sort of hedging my bets here and saying that Alpine are gonna be the seventh quickest team. Who knows if we see a few driver changes between them as well. Yeah, I don't trust the Alpine's form. Even with that Mercedes engine, even with the fact they basically binned off last year, they looked quick last year and they weren't.
Yeah, pretty solid picks. I don't know if whether we'll pick Alpine next. I feel like I will stick with Williams in the P7 and constructors.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then obviously I have Bortoleto P14 and Carlos Sainz P13 in the drivers. As I feel like Sainz will have some like like Sainz is very consistent, but he has some those very specific moments where it's just absolutely incredible and has a incredible result like we've seen last year, 2 podiums compared to Alex's 0 over Simon Williams. So Carlos is really those like big race driver that sometimes just is absolutely incredible. I feel like those kind of results could put him above the rest of the midfield. In this case, in P13 and P7 constructors for Williams for the same reasonings. I feel like it would be a big result for Carlos that puts the Williams up ahead of Audi and Racing Bulls in this fight.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Right. Up next for me is the Williams. I don't think they're going to do that well, but I do think they are going to evolve into the season. I think they're quite slow now, but I think they are going to find a little bit of pace come the season and actually grow into the car a lot more. I don't think you have those two drivers and you really struggle too hard. But maybe I'm wrong. Again, it is worrying this preseason form, but even though I'm dropping them from where I thought they were going to come. So, yeah, and I have their two drivers up next. As I say, I just think that these two will consistently get points, right? I think that's the thing that puts me above the a few other teams. I think, Sainz last year getting a few podiums, Alex constantly getting points. I think they're just two wonderful drivers, and I think even if Williams might struggle come the start of the season, I think they will get a bit more of a pace going into the later stages and hopefully gain a few points from it. Because I'd like to see them do that. They again have the Mercedes engine, so they have that upper hand there as well.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, P6. I was thinking about this, but yeah, I've decided Alpine P6. Definite improvement over last year. They've also acquired a Mercedes engine, who's going to be a big help this season. And they've really always just built good cars when it comes to like the chassis and aero. I feel like they've always been there. Fortunately, they're really just they were really slowed down by the engine. The Renault engine just wasn't up to speed with the others, and now with the Mercedes engine, they could bounce back with a solid midfield season. I feel like P6 is fine. Colapinto, I feel like will be the last of this group. Colapinto in P12. Not gonna be that far off Gasly as I initially thought, but still not great. I still feel like it's gonna be his last season F1 unless he's really puts up the fight to Gasly and potentially beats him.
I think Alex Dunn's like recent thing sort of made me think, yeah, this is definitely happening, right?
Yeah.
He posted about changing from McLaren to Alpine to get a seat. He's sort of done the opposite of Oscar Piastri. Yeah, I think that was a big like air horn for me.
Yeah. I, I'm not sure about mid-season swaps because it's gonna be like a new
Yeah, I
season.
don't think. Yeah, I don't think so
Yeah,
either.
you will want the drivers to have experience in these regulations, and yeah, like some drivers may just be pretty bad from from the start of the season, but then whenever they like gel with the car, they could be like rapid for some reason. Uh,
Yeah,
it happened in the past, things like these. So I feel like I don't feel like there will be driver swaps unless some driver is completely other bad uh, at the
I
start.
think
So
Alonso's going.
uh, I don't know.
I don't think he's going to stick a full year in a team that's at the back of the grid.
That's probably the only driver I could see getting replaced, but we cannot predict the replacement in the driver's standing. We have 22
Yeah, that's
spots,
fair.
so we just have to go with it. And assuming Alonso finishes the season, I feel like it's going to be P19,
Yuki
it's going to
Tsunoda.
yeah. That's probably one of the biggest potential interests to the grid. Yuki with the Honda link still being kind of there, and like the most recent good driver to be left out of the grid. I don't feel like they will bring in a rookie. It will be very stupid if they do. So Yuki's like the no-brainer move if Alonso chooses to retire during
Yeah.
the season. Okay, P11. Next up, I have Esteban Ocon. So they're promising for Haas so
Fair enough.
far. Their car is absolutely stunning, and the Ferrari engine has been very underrated. I feel like they've done some very good job, and overall, all the Ferrari powered teams I feel like improved in the expectations over the preseason testings. Right, all of them
Yeah.
very solid reliability as well. Could be very very fun. Ocon, I feel like will be beaten by Behrman second season in a row. I feel like the gap could be even bigger with Behrman not being a rookie and not having those silly errors here and there. Uh, but I still feel like it would be close enough for them to be next to each other in the driver standings.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. My next driver is going to be Ocon as well. Obviously, I've got him a place above you, but very similar. I think he he will be consistent. I think is the main thing. That's what he always brings. So yeah, looking forward to having him in. And then my driver after that, I should say, Haas is my team, right? I was going to be controversial and maybe put Behrman over Hajar because that Red Bull looks like he's not enjoying driving it. But I am going to put Behrman in nine. I will play it safe. I think Hajar's a good driver, right? I think that's the main thing there. So I'm not going to cause too much chaos when it comes to that and put him in P9.
Okay, yes, I have Ollie Behrman in P10. So both of them next to each other in the same order as you, with Pierre Gasly in P9. It's obviously Haas and P5 in the constructors, like I alluded earlier. I feel like the gap between Colapinto and Gasly will be big enough for two Haas drivers to slot in and score more points combined over the Alpine. I feel like those two teams will fight a lot this season, and I feel like Gasly is currently the best driver of those four. Maybe controversial, but I really believe in Pierre Gasly, and I feel like he's very quick and potentially could be the factor that brings Alpine over the Haas the constructors. But I still feel like he's gonna have a great season no matter what position Alpine will be in. I feel like Gasly is very good. Just that is.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. Fair point. You have a lot more belief in Gasly than I do.
Yeah.
That's our biggest difference thus far, I think.
Yeah.
Um, but maybe Alonso. Uh, right, on to my next pick. Sort of hinted it already. I think Hajar is up next. I'm not confident that's going to be the quickest car ever for him to drive. Um, but we shall see, right? We shall see. There's a long season left. Um, so yeah. Um, Bar that though, I think I'm gonna go for. Oh, I really like at this point. This is the wild, right?
Yeah.
That we have no idea because of like we did put like Leclerc, we had like Hamilton here, but that Ferrari looks quick all of a sudden. They look like they're going to be boosted off of the race starts. This is like no man's land at this point. Oh, I'm going to put. They look to be having one or two issues. I'm going to put Piastri up next. It feels controversial to say because he came so close to winning a drivers' championship last year. But yeah, I just don't know. And I'm going to put Red Bull in fourth. Yeah, this is the bit where I feel I was so confident on it going into before the preseason, and now I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Uh, I've been thinking about this, but this is the top four, right? It's like there's only one driver you can realistically put somewhere to make sense, and it's HRMP8. The
Yeah,
rest of the top four teams drivers. I feel like I feel like the kind of a gap between the top teams and the midfield, like we've seen like
yeah, definitely.
2018, 2019, like kind of that thing will return a little bit uh, with the start of the new regulations. I feel like Red Bull has had a more impressive test than we anticipated, especially in the on the engine side. And since it's Red Bull, like they've always built good cars, no matter the engine. With the engine not being as troubling as it probably could have been, this season looks much better now than it looked before testing. So I just still don't feel like Hajar will be in that fight for top seven, but it'll be close enough for him to not be in the midfield. I feel like the case of when Red Bull had only one driver and they were in the top with a great like remember Gasly in 2019, Albon 2020, like around that area, like last of the top teams, just ahead of the midfield. So
Yeah, yeah,
in the constructors, I'll go for Red Bull as well. I feel like Max will not be in like not have enough for him to like overcome the difference in the constructors because yeah, it looks like teams have the top three teams that are in Red Bull have kind of the upper hand, and doesn't look bad for Red Bull, but I don't feel like he was gonna fight for the title this year, right? Uh, Maybe towards the end he could win some races, but I don't feel like Red Bull will be in that fight for the titles. May prove us wrong, but they've looked better than anticipated. Just not good enough because the other teams, especially like Ferrari, have looked much better than everyone thought. So far, it's testing, right? But
yeah.
yeah, especially when it comes to testing and Ferrari, we have been fooled many times over in the past. So I'm ready to be fooled again. uh, okay, so next up, I feel like the next seven drivers, you could make an order of them in any
Yeah.
order, and
Oh my
it could make
God.
sense, right? So it's just that it's still difficult to predict. But I'm gonna go for Anthony P7, maybe a little lower than most people's predictions, because Mercedes
Oh
looks
yeah.
very, very just out there, like completely dominant in cornering speeds. All the other aspects are very different. Like Ferrari is very good on the braking and on the acceleration, but Mercedes is just so dominant in the cornering speeds. It's
That's
ridiculous,
well,
right?
Ferrari's biggest uh power is in the straight line speed, right?
Yeah, yeah, like those straight lines is just all Ferrari, and cornering is just all Mercedes. And McLaren and Red Bull are like kind of in the middle. The McLaren, I feel like being the stronger car, but we'll see. It's all testing. You don't know what's gonna happen, and it's very difficult to predict this top seven. And it's gonna make it more exciting. I feel like we'll differ quite a bit here, because we already differ in the P7. And next up, your picks.
Yeah, okay. My next pick, I really don't know where I'm going with this. I'm gonna go for. Oh God, I have no idea where I'm going with this. I just like to make clear. Um, Norris. I'm going for Norris. Um, and then I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna not be copium. I'm gonna go for Hamilton after that. Oh,
So that's P3 McLaren, right?
yeah, yeah, it will be. Actually, I'm going to Antonelli, and then P3 McLaren, as you say. I've talked about Antonelli before. I'm not sure how quick he'll be. I do think the McLaren is slightly more problems than the rest of the teams, um, and that's my reason for having them be a bit weaker than the rest of the teams. So yeah. And yeah, I just think Antonelli isn't an experienced driver yet, so that's why I have him in P5. Similar to you, I just don't think he'll be. I think he's with the big boys of F1, right? And yeah, that mid-season stint last year was poor, so we'll have to see him improve, hopefully improve this year.
I mean, if he starts to get points in Europe, it's already improvement.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm sure he will do. That car looks like a rocket ship. But yeah, yes, that's my reasoning. I also think the McLarens are going to have. They look like they have the most mechanical issues of the cars at the top of the grid, so that's why I sort of have them a bit weaker than others. I think they still have a incredible driver lineup and so on and so forth. So yeah,
Yeah. Next up, I have Oscar Piastri, so a little higher than yours. Still P6 only for. Well, he was one race away from the title last year, right? He was still in the fight in the Abu Dhabi, and now P6. It doesn't sound right, but McLaren from those top three teams, I feel like are on the back foot a little bit, but still could be up there. Definitely will be very competitive, and yeah, I got Norris over Piastri like you. So yeah, my P5 in this case is Lewis Hamilton. Maybe a little low, considering he's been very impressive in the test.
it's showing us Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, it's Lewis Hamilton, right? Like, but still, I don't really have that. I don't know. Like, this vibe that I'm getting is just not completely there. I don't know. It's gonna be a better season than last year, that's for sure, right? But I don't know if it'll be quite there for him to fight for a title or anything. It's gonna be very, very good, just not good enough. I don't know. It's all up for interpretation. I could be completely wrong. Lewis could win the 2026 title, and be very, very foolish looking. So, if that happens, I'm gonna be a happy fool, right?
Yeah. I see where you're coming from. If I jump in now and say he is my fourth place pick, because similar to you, I just don't know with Hamilton, right? He is he loves the ground effect, sorry, he hated the ground effect era. He loves engine era, right? And
Yeah.
these cars, you know, you've already seen if you look at preseason or like footage from preseason testing. I've seen people do simulations of like the cars between each other. When Hamilton's driving the car, his like late braking is superb, right? And that fits him to a T. So he might be brilliant in that. And then the starts are incredible for Ferrari, it looks like. So he might be brilliant to that. We just don't know, but he hasn't been like on form recently. So it's a bit of a hedge your bet, right? That's what I'd say. But anyway, I got in the way of you picking your third place team, so I apologize for that.
That's fine. Like if Hamilton, it could go either way. It could be very, very good, or just another
Yeah,
mid-season. And we've both
it,
chosen kind of
look,
in
it
the
looks
middle,
more
right?
positive. It looks more positive,
Yeah.
right? That's the nice thing. He doesn't look like he wants to die in that car anymore.
Yeah, it's not looking like he could retire, but it's also not looking like he could like be fighting for a title. It's it just in the middle improvement over last year, just not quite there yet. Yet, yeah, right.
Yeah.
McLaren, I have in P3. Yeah, I explained my reasoning already.
Right. My P3 and my P2 now. I'm going with Max Verstappen in P3. I just think he won't have the pace, but it's Max Verstappen. Again, I really love to see a battle between him and Russell, but that Mercedes does look scary. And then my P2 is going to be. Oh, wait, no, it's not my P2. My P2 in the constructors, sorry, is going to be Ferrari. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll go Ferrari. I was like, I could do something interesting here, but we'll come to it. The truth of the matter is, I think Antonelli's so off pace, but I think that I'll come to it in my final predictions.
Well, technically, you have like already spoiled your predictions because mathematically you
Yeah,
got to have George Russell winning the title, right? So I guess you
maybe.
can fill it in because it's kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, okay, I'll fill it in. I think George Russell's going to win by miles. That's just my new prediction. I just think that car's a rocket ship. I think maybe he'll get beaten by the start on the start line a few times, but yeah, I think he's going to absolutely like destroy the season more so than I thought he was going to beforehand. It looks crazy, right? It looks like a rocket ship, and I just don't think that anyone's going to be able to deal with that
yeah.
is my big thing. So yeah,
Yeah, that car looks scary good, and yeah, I mean George deserves it, right? He's been so good as a driver ever since he joined the Mercedes, and
yeah,
he's joined right after they won the last constructors and they entered the ground effect era. The Mercedes became like the third best team, right? He's gonna be finally given a good car to fight for the title. I feel like he deserves it. He's like the one driver alongside Leclerc deserves it the most. I feel like.
yeah.
That's
Sorry,
right.
I didn't get to talk about Leclerc there. I think he looked sensational yesterday. He looked really quick. But I think the Mercedes will be so far ahead of everyone come August when the regulations are meant to change now, according to the FIA, that it won't stop. But I do think Ferrari are bringing interesting things. The fact they're bringing this, uh, you know, the new DRS, whatever it's called, the fact that they're so quick on a straight. Not so quick on a straight. What am I talking about? The fact that they words. I'm struggling with words. All of a sudden, the fact that they so quick at the start. That's what I meant. It's exciting times to be a Ferrari fan again, but it's also Ferrari, so I'm not putting my full trust in them.
Right, because it's Ferrari. You cannot be like
Yeah,
overconfident in them. And yeah, I have very similar spots as you do. Ferrari in P2, Mercedes P1, with the top four being, well, obviously George Russell winning the title as well. I have not backed up from these predictions, but I have a new P2 of Charles Leclerc as well as you.
Yeah.
And I have the same top three. So I have Max Verstappen in P3, doing wonders in what's been given because he's the best driver on the grid, and he's just gonna do Max Verstappen things. Like, he's gonna be extracting the most of this car 23 out of 24 races of the season. So, and I have Lando Norris in P4. So this is the rest of my predictions. I fully agree with you on the Mercedes and Russell thing. It looks absolutely ominous, the speed of that car, and it even looked like they were sandbagging as well. It's just so scary. Ferrari, yeah, despite having a very impressive test, I still don't feel like it can. They always impress at tests, right? Like, you cannot really fully back them up for a season. And even though they have improved rapidly in our predictions compared to their pre-testing, it's still not enough for a title. Even though, if Ferrari can give Charles a car that can compete with Russell's Mercedes, I feel like there could be a very interesting title fight, with perhaps Max Verstappen being that fighter too. That would be absolute scenes, but yeah, maybe a little too optimistic on that. We could end up with a very one-sided affair, but well, that's the beauty of predictions before the season, because we don't know what's going to happen. We could see McLaren dominate again or something, you know. We could see anything throughout the season. We could see anything in the first race and the second race and the third race. Such an exciting season up ahead. In 2 weeks from now, yeah, we still have 3 extra bold predictions to do, so I can let you go first.
Yeah. Oh, okay. My first extra bold prediction I'm copying from last year. Max Verstappen won't win a race.
That's a wow. Okay, using your P3. That's one interesting prediction. Okay.
Yeah, well, this is kind of set. I'll be honest. That's kind of a separate prediction to my driver standings. I'm putting it out there that it's possible.
Interesting. Okay. I will have Hamilton wins a race with poor Charles Leclerc.
Oh, beautiful.
This season. Considering
Yeah,
the end
like
of last year, I feel like this is a pretty bold one, but I stand by it.
I agree.
I feel like Lewis could have a very good start of the season.
Yeah, fair enough. My other one I've already revealed. Alonso doesn't drive in 2020. In 2026. Should I put retires before start?
You can do retires before the end of the season.
Retires before the end of the season.
Yeah, that's like the mid-season swap, right?
I'm saying he's retired. Yeah, I'm saying he doesn't drive before the. I think he retires before the start of the season, but I'll take the end of the season.
Okay, I mean, if you want to specify the start that he doesn't even race.
No. I'll take before the end of the season.
Okay. Next up. Okay. I will have Gasly podium next.
Nice.
This hasn't happened since like 2023, probably. Like the
I like it.
Brazil one, right?
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. That's a good
actually. My bad. It's been a while.
And my final prediction: Ollie Behrman wins a race.
Wow. Okay.
Bias.
Okay. Oh, that's one hell of a bias, I gotta say. Okay. I should match.
I think if any driver's going to do it this season, I think it'll be him. Sorry, Hadjar. I know you're literally in a. Oh, Antonelli hasn't won either yet. I forget about that, but Yeah, if it's any driver that's not in a top team, I think it's him. That's why he's in ninth for me.
Mm, okay, I've decided for my third one.
Oh, this is exciting.
Piastri beats Norris in quali head-to-head for the first time.
Yeah, I like that one. That's good. That's good.
It's been 3 seasons, hasn't done it once. He's actually
Yeah.
has a pretty bad head-to-head compared to Norris in qualifying over their 3 seasons and teammates. And he was very close last year, but Norris still came ahead. So I feel like this will be the season Piastri beats Norris in quali, yet finishes behind the driver standings. So very interesting, in my opinion.
I think I think what we've got from this season is we have no idea, right? Pre-season testing has actually made it more confusing for us.
Imagine.
We both think that Russell's going to win, and we both think that the Cadillac and Aston Martins are going to be horrendously slow, but everything else has somehow become more confusing.
Imagine the first race of the season, Fernando Alonso wins the Australian Grand Prix.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second. That car is trapped. They couldn't even fit. They couldn't even do race distances in it.
It's very
They
unlikely.
finish in races.
It's very unlikely, but not impossible, right?
No, yeah, you're right. In some universe, it will happen.
Yeah, like if it's 20 cars retire on the grid, like it could happen.
In some universe, suddenly Aston Martin is the best car going into this season.
We could see some really bad unreliability as well, right? It's a new engine wrecks. We could see like six drivers retire every single race or something. It could very well happen. And
I don't think every single race, but yeah.
Obviously exaggerating a little bit, but we could see the return of like mechanical failures that we haven't seen much in the previous years.
I do think these on pre-season, a lot of them tended to do quite a lot of laps. So, but there was, apart from Aston Martin, who were trash.
Yeah, those teams don't do like full push on races. Like they're not maximizing their car because they want to like get data first and foremost. They're not like pushing the cars to its limits. And even in qualifying, I don't feel like the teams have like put the cars at their limit in one lap pace as well. So we could see some big surprises in Australia.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, and with that, we have finished our predictions for the 2026 season. It's going to be a fun one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to spending it yet again with my dear friend Sorgan.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited to spend the season and the following ones with you as well. It's going to be a blast, honestly. This season, even if George Russell wins by a mile, it still should be very exciting.
Oh,
all the new things.
For me, that's a dream.
Oh yeah, obviously. I like George Russell is one of my top 4 drivers in the grid. Like among I feel like the order right now is Hülkenberg, Bortoleto, Piastri, Russell, then Leclerc probably. That's like my top 5.
I bet you can't guess my top 5.
Well, your top 5 is how many Brits are in the grid? It's like
5.
Yeah. So Lewis, Lando, George, then it's I assume Ollie Behrman, and next up could be either Alex or Lindblad. So yeah,
you're completely correct. That is the order. But they're all equal to each other.
I still feel like you have kind of a little like special place for Lewis in your heart.
Oh, look, if the greatest athlete of all time in the sport, of course there's a little special place. But it wouldn't make me any less happy than, to be fair though, 8th world championship. That would be beautiful.
Yeah. If these predictions come completely wrong at the end of the season, I will not be upset at all because it's just going to make it more exciting because we, as fans, we have no idea what's going to happen actually in the season, and the first race
I will be.
Yeah.
I'll be upset if it's Verstappen on the first place.
Okay. I wouldn't be that against it, but also wouldn't be that exciting, right? Like if you give Max a good car, he's gonna win you a title, and if you
Yeah,
give him a best car on the grid, he's gonna dominate. He's gonna win 23 on
well,
24 races. So
yeah, exactly.
so yeah, for it to be exciting, Max cannot have a good enough car because he's just that good. Give him a car equal to the others, and it's gonna just
He
dominate.
hates these cars though, so who knows?
That's a positive as well. Like if he doesn't feel comfortable in the cars, maybe gives others a chance. But yeah, Red Bull being stronger than anticipated is also considering a little bit, because if Max really is given the car, he's just gonna walk away with the title, and
Yeah.
that wouldn't be that great, right? Because
No,
he's won a couple of titles already. We could share some with others. Okay, that's it for the predictions for 2026 season that we've made here, and we can't wait. If we would have like a fast forward button for the 2 weeks that are ahead of us, the longest 2 weeks probably of the season, because we cannot wait for the season to start. It's so exciting, and yeah, we're very, very excited to share the season with you and with us and HX and Sagan, the best duo on the YouTube in terms of F1, obviously. Maybe even every sport. Like you could make an argument like our wheel knowledge is so big and so precise that maybe we could like wobbling a little bit. Thank you so much for listening to us. Cannot wait. Very excited. Yeah, we'll see you next week, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, actually, we have one video to do. I actually don't remember which one. But yeah, after that, the week after, we're gonna do the first predictions for the first race of the season in Australia in 2 weeks. I don't know what's gonna be next week, but yeah, we're gonna be excited nonetheless. Yeah, not much further to say. Thank you so much again, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Peace.